Today we're going to be talking about a one-way ANOVA between subjects. But before we get into that, I'm just going to briefly explain what an ANOVA is. An ANOVA is an analysis of variance, and basically what that means is it's a fact check on if your data is significant or it actually means something, or if it doesn't mean anything at all and it's just kind of a random chance. And ANOVA tests that to make sure that your data is significant and valuable to the research. A good example is this. A good example of this would be, say you have 3 bags of cookies and they're all different brands, and you want to know which cookie is bigger on average out of the 3. So you take the circumference of 4 random cookies in each bag, and you compare the means to the other 2 bags of cookies. You want then to know if it's just random chance that you pull the bigger cookies or it's not. So what you do is you run an ANOVA, and an ANOVA, plain and simple, before the post hoc turkey, is just making sure that all of the data is significant. And then once you get to the post hoc, which we will get there, that's making sure each sample is significant. So you're just comparing means and making sure that it is valuable for research. That's basically what the point of it is. So let's check this out in SPSS. Let's see how to run it, and then let's also see how to write it in APA format, just like this on the table. So let's go to this data set, and mine is all set up here. Your data set should have all this. The thing that is most needed that you might not have is these totals. So the total mental health index pre, total self-esteem, attitudes, and then mental health index post. Today we're just going to be using the total attitudes, so make sure you have that on deck. So let's start with what we're actually going to do. Let's get into it. So we're going to go analyze, compare means and proportions, one-way ANOVA, and then on this screen we're going to do Q12 as the factor because it is nominal data. So basically what that means is each number is assigned to a specific variable. So basically yes, no, and maybe are the 3 variables in this factor. The dependent list is the actual measurable data and the ones that have a absolute 0 to it. So once we're here, we're going to go to post hoc. We're going to select turkey and then click continue. And then we're going to go to options and then click descriptive. And then all of this is all right. And then once we're here, we're going to click OK. And then it's going to bring you to this screen right here. So I know this is a lot to look at. You're going to get all of this stuff, but we're only going to be looking at these 3 boxes. Or actually, we're going to be looking at this box up here, this box right here, and then we're going to be looking at the post hoc tests right here. So how do we interpret this data? How do we see like what's up? So from this box, we're going to look at the means. This box, we're going to be looking at the significance, which is less than 0.05. Therefore, it is significant. The degrees of freedom is 2 between groups, and then within groups, it's 392, and the total is 394. And then our F value is 11.005. I don't know if I said that already, but I'm going to say it again. And then down here, we're looking at multiple comparisons. So down here, we're going to be looking at yes, no, and not sure, and how it's compared to these over here. So to get to the individual data on is the yes accurate to the question, is no accurate to the question, are they significant, and are they valuable? That's what this does right here. It takes each question and dissects it. So we're looking at the significance right here, and if you look closely, they're all less than 0.05. So we good. Like, we don't have to worry about this not being significant. So how do we write this in APA format? Because this is a lot of data and it's kind of confusing. So I'm just going to go in this paper right here that Dr. Lim has provided. And basically, you're going to do the title page, and then you have your alternate hypothesis right here. And there is a significant difference between the personal space for crying during childhood and the attitude toward looking for partners via dating apps. And then the null is going to be the opposite and everything else. So it's going to be there's no significant difference between the two things we're comparing. It's going to include a table of the means for yes, no, and not sure. And as we can see, yes, no, not sure, they're all going to be right there. And then the standard deviation is right here. And then the F value you're going to find down here. And the degrees of freedom, 2 and 392, that's going to signify between and within. And then the P value is going to be this significance right here. So what I would do here, instead of making this table, is you can save these photos and you can kind of clip them with the snipping tool, and you can copy them and paste them into here if you're starting from scratch. If you're just using this as a sort of template, then just keep the table and then replace the values if you're changing them. Now we're going to start writing our report. So this is a little longer than I know you guys are used to, so we're just going to take this paragraph by paragraph. So the first paragraph is going to be what we're doing, what we're examining, and the tools used and the F value found to signify that it was significant. The study was significant. So basically what you're going to say is the significant differences between personal space for crying during childhood and attitude toward looking for partners via dating apps were examined using a one-way ANOVA between subjects independent. There was a significant difference between personal space for crying during childhood and attitude towards looking for partners via dating apps. The F value is going to include the within groups and the between groups N value, and then it's going to equal the actual F value that we found before. And then P is going to be less than 0.01, saying that there was a significance between the two variables. The second sentence is going to be differences between the groups were examined using Turkey's post hoc tests, and the results found significant differences across groups. So the post hoc test, again, is just checking each and every variable. Firstly, when comparing those who have personal space for crying, and that is going to be yes, right here in the survey, and those who don't, that's going to be no, have more positive attitudes towards looking for partners via dating apps, and it gives the mean for the positive attitudes, like how they have more positive attitudes. So it's comparing this mean to this mean, and it's proving that you can compare them by having this P be less than 0.05. Secondly, when comparing those who have personal space and those who are not sure, P is less than 0.01. About the availability of personal space to cry, those who have personal space, and then the mean is brought up, again, have more positive attitudes compared to those who are not sure. And then the mean for not sure is going to be there as well. And so you're basically, for this, you're just comparing means. You just want to make sure every single one is a valuable thing to report. Thirdly, when comparing those who do not have personal space for crying and those who are not sure, P is less than 0.01. Those who do not have personal space have more positive attitudes compared to those who are not sure, which is M equals 1605. Therefore, the null hypothesis is rejected and the alternate hypothesis is accepted.